Yeah, leave it to the Japanese to make weird shit and make it the best thing ever.
And then it gets weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder, but in the best way possible. And this is an actual scene, is a nightmare sequence with the stuffed animals in the milk. It is something that you're gonna take away from this movie. That and obviously the ending, which I'm not gonna spoil. To the list. I'm your host, Enterprise. Joining me as sometimes we compare
Felix.
The legendary title we are scratching off the list today is the 1988 anime Akira. A secret military project endangers Neo Tokyo when it turns a biker gang into a rampaging psychopath. I have to read this really slow because this is just wild and bonkers and bananas. Okay, I'm gonna do that again. When it turns a biker gang member into a rampaging psychopath who can be only stopped by a teenager, his gang of biker friends, and a group of psychics.
That's a mouthful.
So, if you do what I did and go into this movie without knowing dick about it, it's a wild ride, bruh.
Yes, it is.
I was confused early on. There are guys shooting doggies in the head. You're like, what the fuck? There is a old kid. There are older kids.
Oh yeah.
It's just weird. It's an anime.
Yeah, leave it to the Japanese to make weird shit and make it the best thing ever.
And then it gets weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder, but in the best way possible. This is based on a 2,000-page manga.
Yeah, normally it's 4 tomes. I think it's 4 volumes. They're huge, They're fucking huge.
You talking about the reprints? It was actually part of Young Jump magazine that ran from 1986 to 90 something or something like that. So when they were producing the movie and the movie came out, they had not finished the manga yet. Yeah,
so normally now we say they Game of Thrones the series. But no, they Akira Game of Thrones.
Yeah, because this movie only covers half of the manga. Which, by the way, I've only become a fan as of this morning. Where the fuck the other half, bruh?
When I watched this movie at first, I watched this movie, I have to say, like maybe 10 years ago.
For the first time?
For the first time.
Oh, I thought you've been a fan all your life. I thought you were going to give me one of your Chocoventura that you woke up every Sunday and they were playing on the Telemundos and
No, they didn't have the balls to play this on TV.
No, because it's fucking violent and they show it.
Yeah, and if I remember, there's also with Kaneda's girlfriend.
Kinda, yeah.
Almost, yes. It's fucking harrowing.
They don't show any. They undress her pretty violently.
Simon. But I remember watching this movie and said, "Oh, what is this based off? Oh, it's a manga."
2,000 pages. I ain't reading that. And of course, people who read the mangas say that the movie is horseshit compared to the actual manga.
Oh yeah, the manga's like levels of profoundness.
I will say, this is gonna live on forever. The animation is super, super timeless. It's not gonna matter.
It's gloriously beautiful.
I think it's all handmade. It's all handmade, and I think it was like 24 frames per second. So usually in animes, you would see a static character, and their whole face won't move except just for their mouth. And here, everything is moving. Nuestro compa Kaneda has his fucking facial expression. Everybody has facial expressions. Everybody moves. It's super, 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 super fluid. And this came out in 1988. And to do that, it took twice as much work than anything else ever produced. twice as many cell images, twice as many animators, twice as many everything. There's one scene where the doctor is like typing away with the guy behind him, and there's different colors. That was CGI, actually.
What?
Yes, and they used 380 something colors throughout the whole movie.
Simon.
And they created 52 colors, including Akira red.
Whoa, okay, I did not know that, and it just blew my mind.
That's fucking wild. I didn't know there was Akira red, but now after watching this movie, I want an Akira red moto.
I want an Akira red something I can wear.
Yeah. Those jackets, speaking of expensive, those jackets are lit and they're super, super expensive.
And speaking of the animation, there's a lot of scenes or sequences where you just see the city and the city being itself, because the whole city is also a character, a prominent character in the movie.
Yeah, I don't know if it came across in my reading of the synopsis, but this is a post-apocalyptic
Tokyo.
Neo Tokyo. Yeah, so the government is rampant. Everybody's a revolution, and there's a lot of characters in the manga that were cut out. You remember the guy that's praying?
Mm-hmm.
He plays a huge part in the manga, actually.
Oh, the guy who looks like a lady. Dude, looks like a lady.
And then he's falling on the bridge. That they catch him, and then tan-tan. Not really a spoiler alert, because this movie is fucking violent. And the other thing that this movie did that they really don't do was they showed the violence. Usually they cut away, right? Not fucking here. They see the contact to the head. They see that there's my favorite frame was when she shoots the guy near the sewer, and the bullet hits his face, and it looks like it rips. That part was fucking dope.
Yeah.
Every frame of this fucking movie, you can pause it, print it, and make a t-shirt or an album cover or anything. It's gorgeous 30 something years later.
Do you remember story-wise why or what was the cataclysm that made this Tokyo?
Akira.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so slight spoiler alert. Akira is not the name of the main guy.
No.
That's Kaneda. What is it? Kaneda?
Kaneda.
Akira was actually another kid with powers.
Like the strongest one, right?
The strongest one that actually destroyed the city, and is the reason why there's that. But it happened so long ago that the people, he's kind of like an urban legend, so people don't believe he is. And then Tetsuo gets fucking powers too. That's the kid who gets powers. So they think he's the reincarnation of Akira. So there's a whole ass battle between Tetsuo with his newfound powers and these little old kids. When I say little old kids, you'll look at this picture. Little old kid. It's freaky, bro. It's little kids. They speak like little kids too. It was weird. It's freaky, and it only gets weirder and freaky towards the end.
Pulling out the references.
Yeah, you don't realize it, but this movie was super influential in a lot of things. The one iconic thing probably of the whole movie is the Akira slide, but it's not even Akira. It's Kaneda. It's Kaneda.
The bike slide.
The bike slide, which has been done to hell and everything else, but it was first done here. So iconic. I think I might have to print that or something.
And it's gorgeous. It's that whole sequence. I've seen videos where they put the Kaneda slide and then sequence the other movies or whoever did it.
Yeah.
That's the most gorgeous one.
Yeah. You can't beat the original. It's very 80s cyberpunk Japanese music. I didn't know.
I loved it.
Is Neo Tokyo, is that where this came from, or Neo Tokyo was already a thing before?
Oh, I think it's a cyberpunk thing.
Oh. Because the name of the city is Neo Tokyo. So I was like, okay, Neo Tokyo came from this shit too? But the music is brilliant, and wildly enough, the music was made without seeing a single frame of the movie.
Neta?
Yeah. And how they were managed to piece it together,
wild,
to make the scenes pop and make it even more impactful and dramatic with the music is insane. It's not something that I would probably like listen to actively, but when you're watching it, you're like, oh, I can hear. I'm in the mood of the movie. You know what I'm saying?
And I've actually, maybe not directly this, but for example, for periods of like deep work, normally I go to YouTube and put like
Neo Tokyo soundtrack,
Exactly.
That's what I've heard that before. You're probably listening to one right now. No copyright. They did kind of copy pasted a lot of models. I feel like there was a lot of pencil mustaches guys running around.
Oh, Simon.
Must have been a very popular facial animation.
Well, for bad guys, yeah. Pencil mustaches make you look like or douchey or evil.
Yeah, it could go either way. So it's hard to figure out. So, and even Kay, the lady, looks just like Kaneda, just with like lashes. She even has the same haircut as Homeboy.
Simon.
So that was a little weird. And then they're both red. So it took me a second even to figure out which one is which at times. Probably the scene that I'm going to leave with the most, and this is an actual scene, is a nightmare sequence with the stuffed animals in the milk. Look like Mickey's to me. But still, it is something that you're gonna take away from this movie. That and obviously the ending, which I'm not gonna spoil. You know, the way that the animation is done, and plus it's a combination of wild, visually, aesthetically pleasing animation mixed with fucked up shit.
Yeah, I love the fact that they never pulled punches with anything.
No,
it was in your face. Like, this is the reality that's gonna happen if shit goes south.
Yeah, it's very fast paced. Again, very, very smooth. But the best part, like you were saying, it's creative as hell. The action scenes are like nothing you really have seen before.
No, they're composed in such a way where everything, I mean, a lot of things are happening, but it still manages to take your attention to concentrate into the main thing while hell's breaking loose all around.
Like, you've seen a bike chase before, but the way that it's done here, it makes it so memorable. It could be the animation. There's some wild shit like Kaneda running up and just jumping on the bike while the guy's coming at him and like bicycle kicking, like doing a Mortal Kombat move on him. It's just a little wild. But the fact that I remember exactly how that takes place, that's where the creativity and the art comes in. That it makes an impression to your brain. You just cannot be like, oh yeah, Simon, whatever. No, you're like, holy shit, look at that. The transitions too also made it feel like I was watching a manga. Obviously, there's different kind of transitions between scenes. Like there's one where there's fading, and then it goes pitch black, and then the next scene comes up. Or it's fading with the other scene on top of it. Or what they would do a handful of times as well is that they would still be talking and the camera moves up while they're still arguing, and they fade out the audio, making it feel like the world is still going on, but now we're going to go see this part of the same world, which I liked.
Yeah. In terms of anime, it is in my top 5 animes of all time.
I get it. If it's not on your list, it should be on it. I get it now. I get all the I get all the references. I understand the impact that it had in the world and in cinema since 1988. They're still replicating scenes from that. They're still drawing inspirations from it. Resident Evil Village just did, right? I didn't put that together till now. So if you even are a little bit curious about anime, I think this is a must watch. You should 100% watch it. Well, Felix said this was one of his favorite animes of all time, but if you want to know what his favorite movie of all time, I'm going to link it for you right here. It's actually what, Felix?
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim. Believe it or not, you need to watch the video to find out why. I'm going to leave it for you right here. Thanks for watching, and remember to always and forever you do ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I swear to God, it's Pac Rim. Go watch it. The video, not Pac Rim.
I mean, both.
Pac Rim.
Both.
No.
Cállate los hocico, güey.
No.